something happened to Matthew McConaughey in 2011, so he became a better actor for some reason. It all started with the movie The Lincoln Lawyer for some reason. I didn't like Matthew McConaughey up until this point, but every movie he has done basically since 2011, he has been good to absolutely amazing. And the movie of today, Gold, or as I like to call it, I Love Gold, like I was Gold member, is made in 2016, which automatically makes this a good Matthew McConaughey performance. This movie is not about its small little flaws here, there, and we are going to try to find out what is the good, what is the bad, and what is the in-between in this movie. This is Gold. Slightly failed prospector Kenny Wells, played by Matthew McConaughey, has come to Colombia. His idea is that he will succeed where others has failed. He has a real drive for the business and really wants to, succeed with, mining business, stuff like that. Him together with Michael Acosta, played by Edgar Ramirez, a friend who shares his passion. They are going to try to overcome all the obstacles to, strike out and, be profitable. So they're fighting unhappy workers, they're fighting crooked officials, and they're fighting against the elements and the environment. And then they find gold, a whole fucking mountain of it. And in a very short space of time, they are creating an entire freaking empire out of this one. And Matthew McConaughey is transformed from a poor, likable asshole to a rich, likable asshole. And then the greed comes, and then the problems, starts. You know how the territory goes. This is the type of movie I have a really soft spot for. The classic, rise and fall of, what have you. Previous movies in this genre is of course like American Made or War Dogs, or basically anything that Martin Scorsese has directed. I like this type of movies. When you see how somebody gets successful and the success goes to their heads, and they're building their houses and their poles and stuff like that, and the excess is just mounting. You're sitting there and you kind of wish that you were them and that you were having all this success and being able to build all these houses and stuff like that. And then you're thinking, this is probably the time where I would say, now this is enough and we can probably live of this for the rest of our lives. But greed breeds greed, and more wants more. And you're kind of thinking where this one is going, but this movie has a bit of a twist for you that I did not see coming. Because when a third of the movie is left, the movie presents to you with a gigantic twist that turns the movie quite upside down, and you're going, huh? What? And then the very, very excellent third act start of this movie. I will say this, Gold is really good. I like the story, I like the characters, especially Matthew McConaughey runs around with his weird bald cappy thing and is being charismatic and a bit of an asshole. It has a really, really nice, feel to it, a look to it. You're feeling like you're there. You're feeling like you're along for the ride, and that you're, a silent participant in this little adventure of ours. And I really dug this movie for a long time. I didn't really care that much for the ending. I thought that the ending was a little bit, It was underwhelming and was either forced upon them by the studio, or it was a rushed thing they wrote in the end. Because Gold is inspired by true events that happened in the 1980s, we're of course going to have to almost be drowned in 80s references and vulgarity that came with the decade and all that good stuff. But I get the feeling that Gold is missing something the entire time. I don't quite know what it is missing, but comparable movies such as The Wolf of Wall Street or Casino, did feel bigger, did feel more important. They felt like they were, you know, even more monumental occasions, and in a sense they weren't. This one could have been as monumental as, you know, those movies were. Maybe because they didn't have the grand visions of what a Martin Scorsese could do is what ultimately made this movie not reach its full potential. I don't know whether or not that is the case or not. I just felt that something was missing. This is by no means a bad movie. I think this is a really, really, really good movie. But I was just so immersed in it, and they couldn't quite reach that, you know, third level that a movie like this should have. And as I said before, after the very, very good third act, it led up to a finish that I thought was a little flat. I do recommend this movie if you like Martin Scorsese, if you like this type of movies, if you like, you know, these sort of greedy crime adventure type of movies. You will find a lot of things to like in this movie. I will say that there are small blemishes on this script and in this movie that prevents it from going a bit further, but I still say that it is well worth a watch. In a sense, this movie really stands and falls with Matthew McConaughey's participation. He's a little bit of a loner in this movie. He's the really only character that we're really attached to. Maybe that is one of the reasons why the movie feels a little bit shortchanged in comparison to a Martin Scorsese type of a situation. I give Gold, however, 74 points. I think it's a really entertaining movie. I think it has a lot of upside to it. Matthew McConaughey is really good in it, and it is a fascinating story. I just wish it could have been told even better. So I'll see you next time from, well, so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.